What's up, everybody? Hope everybody had a good weekend so far. Welcome to Dimitri Cinema. I'm your host, Dimitri. I want to jump right into it. Today is pretty much going to be a special stream because it's on one of my favorite movie of all time. Well, I have two favorite movies of all time. I always talk about movies that are coming out, or you know what I'm saying, like movies that people don't know about, and that's that's just my way of trying to put my ideas of what I think the new movies that are coming out, you know what I mean? Like how I think they're supposed to be, how I feel they're supposed to be. Now I'm gonna give you a little something different today. I'm gonna talk about, you know, two movies that been out off for a decade, but they both were my favorite movies. Um if I go down a list of movies, my favorite first two favorite movies of all time, Batman with Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson, Robert Wall, Kim Basinger, Billy D. Williams is a nice all star cast. And then the second, New Jack City, Wesley Snipes, Ice T, Chris Rock, Alan Payne, uh, BD Wong's in it, um, Mario Van Peebles, and he directed it. So those are my top two movies of all time. You go down and listen to that, you got Goodfellas, Scarface, the first Fast and the Furious, um, American Gangster. You got it's extreme lot of movies that go down the list. I can keep going, right? But I'm gonna talk about my first two best movies of all time. I'm gonna start with Batman. Batman, when it first came out, the same way Michael Jordan changed sports globally. The Jordan shoes, the Air Jordan, and everybody wanted Michael. Like, it's not even him being the greatest athlete of all time. It's just my opinion, greatest basketball player athlete of all time. He changed the world globally. And when Batman 1989, the first Batman by Tim Burton came out, I felt like it was a globally change around the world because everybody came up on Batman comic books, and then you had the Batman TV show that was in the '60s with Burt Ward, uh, and you had I forgot the guy's name to play Batman in a TV show, but you had that, then you had the '50s Batman. You know, it never really took off. Like epically took off like you wanted it to. So when in 1989 Batman came out, it was man, I think it went around the globe. So it was big for me. They had the T-shirts. Oh, by the way, I like this. hmm hmm They had the T-shirts that Batman T-shirts, the Batman hats, the Batman cups. I mean, it was big time coming out. When I was little, I wanted to see Batman. That me and my friends wanted to see Batman, New Jersey. We would just, it was a big thing, because it came out in '89, going into where hip hop was past, getting into rising from the '80s to the '90s. Everything was coming together from the '80s going into the '90s world, and when Batman came out, it was like other than the 1973, 74, 75 Supermans with Christopher Reeve, this was now the chance to show Batman and keep it at a hype level. This was big, but that's when we were. It was we all had our ideas and opinions about it. When it first came out, the trailer, when I first seen the trailer for it, the first trailer, they showed Michael Keaton in the bat suit. So I'm thinking, a lot of people for some reason we silly thinking we thought this Batman, is he a bat? Is he gonna be a bat? Is he an animal in the movie? Like, is he superhuman? Like, how are they doing this? Because the suit was all black and we weren't used to that. And then when when you see the movie, you was like, oh man, okay, because you used to the blue and gray Batman movie, or whatever. I mean, Batman suit. Used to the comic books. Used to the TV show Blue and Gray. You see all black. It was something new. It was like that sort of you know threw you off a little bit. But then when you seen it, you're like, oh, this is this is cool. Him in the utility with the utility belt and the way he was able to glide with the cape and that grapple gun he had that he just shot up. Everything about that movie, man, I can point it out from 1 to 10. 10 amazing things in that movie that made the hype for it. You had Jack Nicholson as Joker. That was something new. He brought something to the table. A lot of people didn't wonder if it was going to work or not. A lot of people did know it was going to work because he was uh, the Shining. He did a crazy guy in the Shining, so it kind of fit because Joker in the comic books is insane. He's crazy. So you needed somebody that could play an insane guy that's crazy. You know, and this, the way he portrayed it, it was funny because he was able to add the comedy to it a couple of times. Um, but he had also had that persona. Where did they get a load of me? You can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs. You know, um, I'm of a mind makes a mookie. Like he had so many iconic lines in that. It was just, you know, that Michael Keaton. To me, Michael Keaton is the best Batman ever in a movie, ever, ever, ever. You can take him out of Tim Burton directing his franchise and put him in a Christopher Nolan's franchise. I think he's still the GOAT at Batman. He was able to combine the combination of being quiet, and at the same time that darkness to it when he had the costume on. And here's another reason why I think Michael Keaton is one of the best Batmans. If you watch, I hate bringing this up, man, because I like I like Christian Bale, but you watch Christian Bale and we did it because he had that. It became a meme. People started making fun of it. Yeah, he was a good Bruce Wayne, but he was a horrible Batman. You know what I mean? And the thing about directors when they direct any Batman movie, whether it's Joe Schumacher, Tim Burton, whether it's Christopher Nolan, they want you to be able to separate the two. You know, a lot of people look at it like, well, he got a mask on. He's a human in a mask. Yeah, but you still got to be able to separate the two. That goes with a lot of heroes. If you go back to even Master Universe, the cartoon, He Man, when he's Adam, hey Cringer, what are we gonna do now? Come on, bud. And then when he's He Man, he's like, He Man, he's Skeletor. Let me help you show you now, Skeletor. Like you could hear the heat, the man voice in it. You got to be able to separate that. Batman is just, Michael Keaton was able to do it when he was like, he talked quiet, you know. He had his scenes when he talked, his lines when he talked quiet. Kim Basinger, uh, even when he talked to Jack Nicholson, you know, he was quiet. He knows how to do it. And then it was almost like Michael Jackson, how he's able to separate that. Yeah, yeah, and then he could do it. Michael Keaton did it with Batman. It was like, you know, what do you, Alfred? Won't you take her? Won't you date her? Why don't you do it? And then he tell your friends about me. I'm Batman. But it wasn't. He didn't overdid. He didn't mess up overdoing it. Then when you go back and watch the Batman with Ben Affleck in the Justice League and the Batman versus Superman, it was like they gave him like the modifier thing, like to enhance his voice. Is that what we're doing now? Okay. I don't know. She looks good in the skirt. You know what I mean? Like they had to do that. They didn't want it to go overboard with Christian Bale doing it himself. Which he sounded like he just got finished doing a 10. 10-man uh, uh, race, and he had to catch his breath in the middle of it, and he's telling people why he can't. Hold on, y'all, just keep going. So there was a lot of things in Batman Tim Burton's movie that made me love the movie and fall in love with the movie. From Joker, iconic, performance, to Michael Keaton's great balanced performance, portraying a superhero and portraying a millionaire, Bruce Wayne. Kim Basinger, she was able to bring that beauty and that go get it. She was pretty much the Lois Lane for Batman's Lois Lane because she was a reporter or a photographer for the Gourmets, and she worked with Alexander Knox, who was also a photographer. So they worked with the almost photography company, but they were trying to get pictures of Batman, and she was interested in bats. Her thing was bats. She loved bats, so she brought a lot to it. Michael Keaton brought a lot to it. Jack Nicholson brought a lot to it. Even Billy D. Williams. He A lot of people would say, why did they put Harvey Dent? There's a black dude as Harvey Dent. He didn't do too much. He didn't do too little. He played a lawyer who was representing Gotham City like he's supposed to. Just he didn't have a big Harvey didn't have a big time nuclear role in that Batman. So I guess they were setting it up for later on down the line, but it didn't work out where Tim Burton brought Billy D. Williams back as Harvey Dent because after Batman Returns, Joe Schumacher took over the franchises. And then he made Batman Forever, Batman and Batman, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin. So and then a lot. Another thing I was, I think half of it was filmed in France, and part of it was in New York City. The lights, the theatrical, uh, the lighting, everything, how they brought it to Gotham City, the dark. They made you know it was a Dark Knight. It was more the Dark Knight movie, not more the Batman detective. It was more Dark Knight. It was they brought a lot to it, a lot to it. The first Batmobile, I fell in love with that, man. That car was nice. Even the scene, one of my favorite scenes from Batman is when Michael Keaton, um, he gets the phone call that he's supposed to. Vicky called him and said, "Hey, come meet me at the museum or whatever." And she went to the. Alfred told him, "Hey, Miss Vale called saying she's supposed to meet him at the museum." He's like, "I didn't. I didn't make an appointment with her." And he knew it was the Joker. Somebody was behind it. She's in danger. Then they show that scene where she's sitting at the table, and then Joker comes through his men, and they put the gas, laughing gas, or killing gas, and kills everybody. Joker's crazy, and he sits down with Vicky Vale, and he's trying to find out. He's trying to get the Batman, so he's using her to get the Batman. But he also was amazed with her beauty. You know what I mean? And then um, she gets in danger with him, and Batman saves her. Comes through the roof, comes down. Iconic. One of my favorite scenes of all time. I just love it. And then he runs out like, "Get in the car. You got a car?" And Batmobile comes out. The the ride. That scene is called Mystery Descent through Mystery, where he's riding, taking her to the Batcave, and she's just looking at him. She's trying to see who he is under the mask, and she doesn't know. And she's like, and he's just focused, laser focused. He knows she's staring at him. It's just funny, man. It was a lot of things, the little things that made Batman also that made Batman great. And then you got the fight at the end with him and the Joker. The Batwing. You know that scene when he's just flying through there trying to stop the balloons. So many things, man. That I love that movie, but the darkness, the dark presence that they brought on it, made me really fall in love with that movie. It was, you know, so that movie was Tim Burton did. Tim Burton was Tim Burton, like Nightmare Before Christmas, Batman, you know, Beetlejuice. You know, you see his pattern and work. You know his style. He did really good. He did a phenomenal job on that. So Batman is, like I said, you can do this A and B. Then you got New Jack City, different movie, gangster movie, movie portray about drugs. It's based on the real story of the real Nino Brown, portraying drugs in the 80s coming up with crack cocaine when it hit the streets, and Nino and his empire, blew up, and they're upcoming. He's trying to take over New York and Harlem, and Ice T is cop killer song guy, portrays a cop. It's funny. He portrays a cop in that. Mario Van Peebles is like, you know, the lieutenant, captain, whatever. So Mario Van Peebles puts together a team to try to take down Nino Brown and Ice T. He need the craziest people to go with him, which is Ice T and I forgot the guy's name that work with them. Uh, Stone, Stone, I think it's Stone. Um, them two work together and take down Nino Brown and try to take down Nino Brown. Chris Rock is in that one, portrays Pookie, crackhead. Amazingly, a phenomenal job as a crackhead of all time, the best crackhead of all time, other than Luther, Samuel Jackson Luther from Jungle Fever. Did a really amazing job, and Chris Rock was upcoming too, you know. But they go to take down Nino Brown. Chris Rock gets killed in the movie, and they go to avenge him. So they end up taking them down the rest of the movie, and it was really phenomenal, really phenomenal. But the thing about New Jack City, it taught you a life lesson. You know, the the thing that Ice T had to deal with his mother getting killed by Nino when he was younger, and he was able to push on and it made him stronger as a cop, as a police officer, to fight crime, to fight, you know, people like that. And he ended up being one of the best soldiers in that police force. Mario Van Peebles played the nice lieutenant captain or whatever, and he was able to lead these guys. But it took Ice T and his partner to come together to really take Nino down after the whole Chris Rock thing. So I um I like the way they was able to put that together and direct that or whatever. Good movie. Really, really good movie. One of the best gangster movies of all time. So yeah, other than Goodfellas and Scarface, New Jack City is up there. I actually seen New Jack City before I seen Scarface. So some people's the other way around. They see Scarface first, and then they see New Jack City. But yeah, that's a really, 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 really big time special gangster movie for me. You know, and it just taught a lot of life lessons in that. The way he got shot at the end, the old man who wanted to take him down. He didn't like how he was doing his community, and you know, he ended up taking him down at the end. Trying to stop him. Ice T was trying to stop him, but it didn't. He wasn't as getting as close as he wanted to, even though he infiltrated him. Trying to do it. But it was a lot of iconic scenes in that one too. So That's one of my that's probably my second best movie of all time. Um, One of the things I like when the opening of the movie is when they do the Statue of Liberty opening scene with the helicopter. You could tell they used a helicopter because I don't think they had drones back then. But when they do the helicopter of the open scene, and Statue of Liberty going around the Statue of Liberty in the water, that was amazing. But it was amazingly good movie. I wish they did a part two where Nino Brown has a son in there because he had his relationship with him and G Money brothers. G Money, he let G Money in charge of the you know the Cash Money Brothers organization. G Money ran it for him. But while he was doing that, Nino was sleeping with his girlfriend. So things went down. They got infiltrated by Ice T and his force. End up getting shot at by Donna Mateo, who was a mob boss at the time. Nino was fighting with him over the city. End up killing some of his crew. Nino got back and took him out, and now he's over the city, and now they trying to take him down. But then Nino ended up killing G Money because Nino found out that Ice T infiltrated them through G Money. So one of the I guess one of the bro things they had was, hey, you, if this is your fault, you gonna die for this. He gonna die too. So it was a lot of things in there that made that movie just, you know, key iconic lessons on it. So I would say it's like definitely my top two of all time. And then I would say I would go down with Goodfellas, um, Scarface. Mm, Godfather I wasn't big on because to me Godfather didn't have flavor. Goodfellas had flavor. Scarface had flavor. Godfather is the OG, the beginning. You gotta respect that. But comes to mafia movies, I'm Casino, Goodfellas, um, mafia movies, not the gangster. Casino, Goodfellas, Heat, um, and then of course you got the TV show The Sopranos, one of my favorite of all time, my favorite TV show, period. So yeah, I got a list of movies I'm gonna be upcoming with. That's in my favorite, my top 10, my top 20, maybe. It's gonna be coming soon. So if, yeah, if y'all ain't seen New Jack City, definitely watch that. Batman, never seen it before, definitely watch that. You can get them both on Amazon MGM, and you can even on Netflix. Tubi, you can see New Jack City on Tubi because they show that a lot. Boys in the Hood is another one of my top movies of all time. So definitely check out Batman and Scarface and New Jack City if you ain't seen it yet. King of New York is another great one, but we ain't gonna get into that. So yeah, I hope everybody have a good weekend. Um, I just wanted to put this out as one of my two special movies of all time, my favorite movies of all time. So write in the comments what y'all think, and I'll see y'all soon. I should have something coming up with the Odyssey, but I'll hit y'all back on that soon.